Your name?
Sir, James Lee.
All right, pause right here for a second. This opening exchange might seem simple, but it actually reveals a classic tactic often used by people influenced by sovereign citizen-style arguments. Instead of directly confirming their legal name, they try to create a distinction between themselves and the legal identity on court documents. The problem? Courts don't operate on philosophical identity debates. They operate on legal records and identification. And the judge immediately recognizes what might be happening here. So the real question for you watching is this. Is the defendant genuinely confused, or is he trying to play a legal word game that courts have seen 1,000 times before?
Your last name's Page, isn't it?
I am of Page family, but my name is James Lee.
You're not going to play with me this morning.
No, sir, I'm not wish to.
Is your last name Page?
Sir, I'm not the legal distinction. I'm a
I don't want to hear this nonsense.
living man.
Listen, you want to play games?
I do not.
Find some other court and some other judge I'm not going to play with you. Okay.
Dude,
If you're not James Lee Page, then you shouldn't stand up here, and I'm just going to issue a warrant for James Lee Page.
well, that's
Hang on.
I'm not trying to.
Either you are or you aren't James Lee Page. If you aren't, back away from the podium. If you are, tell me that. I'm not going to play with you. Are you James Lee Page?
I'm a living man.
Back away from the podium.
Sir, stop.
I'll issue a warrant for you.
Sir,
Then back up.
may I please ask?
No, you can't ask a question. You're not James Lee Page. You have no business being here. Back away from the podium.
Sir,
You want to end up in the lockup?
I do not. Please.
Back up away from the podium. You're not the defendant.
Can we hold court, please?
Back up.
Okay, this moment right here is where the judge makes something crystal clear. Courts across the United States have dealt with thousands of cases involving sovereign citizen arguments. Things like, I'm a living man, the court has no jurisdiction, or that name isn't me. Legally speaking, these arguments do not work in criminal court. Judges aren't required to debate internet legal theories. Their job is simply to determine identity, explain the charges, and move the case forward. And notice the judge's tone here. He's drawing a hard line because if the court allows this debate to continue, the entire hearing could spiral into hours of meaningless arguments. But here's the interesting question for you. Do you think the judge handled this the right way, or should he have been more patient explaining why those arguments don't work?
John, stay away. John.
Can I please?
No, you're not James Lee Page. Back away from the
Okay,
podium.
sir, I am.
Well, then don't play with me. Then don't lie to
I'm
me.
not trying to lie to you, sir, but you understand that they're trying to act like I'm a little
I'm like,
Sir,
"Ugh."
that's what it is, no.
I'm not playing games. You want to play games? I'll go buy you a Monopoly game at the dollar value store. You can take it home and play games.
That's not a game to me.
Well, then don't tell me you're not James Lee Page if you're James Lee Page.
That's going to be too big.
I don't want to hear your nonsense. I'm not putting up with it today. I've had enough of you people coming in here. I'm talking about these sovereign citizen characters that want to think they run the courthouse. You're not running this courtroom.
I'm not a sovereign citizen.
Well, okay.
But,
Listen, there's nothing for you to say. You're charged with operating with the presence of drugs. You have the right to a lawyer. If you want a lawyer, I will give you a lawyer right now. If you don't want a lawyer, then I'm going to arraign you. I'm going to let you go talk to the prosecutor and see if you can resolve it. Do you want a lawyer to represent you?
at any time I could hire an attorney, right?
Sure.
Or I don't have to waive any rights for that.
I'm just telling you, you have the right to a lawyer by law through the MIDC.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So I could give you a lawyer right now that will talk to you and represent you at this arraignment and pretrial. If you want me to. If you want to waive your right to a lawyer and say, Judge, I don't want a lawyer, I'm going to go ahead and arraign you. I'm going to explain the charge, possible penalties, and your rights.
Yes, sir.
If you decide you want to hire a lawyer, then you just tell me that and I'll let you go hire it. Okay?
Well, if I tell you I want to hire a lawyer, and what if I end up not hiring a lawyer? Am I in trouble or something?
I don't know what you mean. I can arraign you today, explain the charge and the possible penalties. If you choose to go hire your lawyer, I'm going to set a new date and let you go hire your own lawyer.
Okay. Well, I was never served a summons.
I didn't ask you that.
I understand that.
I didn't ask you that.
You're trying to hold a free trial without a summons?
I'm the judge. I'm not a witness. You want to ask me questions, you're not asking me questions. You're going to only ask me questions about things that you don't understand. You're not going to ask me questions. I'm not a witness.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm just asking you, it's a yes or no. It's very simple. Would you like me to appoint you a lawyer right now to represent you at the arraignment and the pretrial? Yes or no?
And when would the arraignment be?
Right now, as soon as you talk to the lawyer and the lawyer goes and talks to the prosecutor for you.
How can I properly defend myself if I've never been served for summons?
I'm not going to debate. They don't pay me enough to debate things with. I'm not going to debate with you. You either tell me, Judge, I want a lawyer.
Can we adjourn this date then so I can do the summons properly service?
Sir, sir. If you think you weren't properly served, you can file an appropriate motion. I'm going to arraign you today. I will give you a lawyer to help you through the arraignment today. And then I'm going to set a bond. And then you can decide to hire your own lawyer if you choose to, represent yourself if you choose to. And we're going to proceed with the case.
So the special appearance did nothing for you? I mean,
I know these, listen, I get these things around line and you guys like to have fun. I get it.
Sir, I'm just trying to.
You want to have fun. You want to have fun. This is not a place to have fun.
It's not fun for you.
All right. Do you want a lawyer? Yes or no?
If you're forcing an arraignment on today, sir.
I'm forcing an arraignment on you.
And if there is an arraignment,
It's just where I explain the charge and the possible penalties and your rights. Or you can go get a lawyer. I'll give you a lawyer. You can talk to the lawyer. You can talk about all this, that you weren't served with a summons and the government is corrupt and the government doesn't do what they're supposed to do. And that's fine. You can raise all those all those defenses, and I will listen to you.
so you will give me an attorney to talk to right now?
Absolutely. Free of charge.
Did you say free of charge?
Free of charge. You're entitled to one. The state adopted these rules. It's not my rule, but they did that about 6, 7, 8 years ago now.
And the arraignment, you want a plea or you want just to understand the charges?
You go talk to a lawyer.
I can walk out here right now and go talk to the lawyer?
Yeah, we're going to give you one. I'll give you a lawyer. John, who will be his lawyer?
Probably.
Is Mr. Crawford here?
Yes, sir.
Who else do we have here today? Who? Who's Tony Carvin and court security? What about Christopher Shepard?
Great attorney.
All right. So yes, we will set you up with a lawyer. You go right out in the hallway and he's going to give you a
Well,
lawyer.
sir, I'm not fully sure if I want one. It's just an arraignment. You just want them to the charges and I just want fully.
Arraignment is where I explain the charge,
Okay.
possible penalties, and your rights. Period. You can have a lawyer to do that with and come in here with a lawyer and have the lawyer go negotiate this case to the extent that he wants to or you want to. Or you can waive your right to a lawyer and I will arraign you.
I believe I can just handle the arraignment, just telling me my rights, correct?
You can say it again. I'm explaining to you the charge, the possible penalties, and your rights.
I can handle this.
You know the form he wanted you to sign that you declined to sign because for whatever reason you decided you wanted to be a little bit more belligerent?
No, not that, sir.
Well, you didn't want to sign the advice of rights form. You can read, right?
I mean,
You can read, right?
I can read.
Then why didn't you want to sign the advice of rights that
I
he
just
handed
didn't
you?
see why would I have to sign to say, hey, I want my rights, so I wouldn't. Well, why would I ever have to sign to keep your rights.
You just want to engage in this banter. It's kind of funny.
Sir.
It's kind of funny, really. I've seen enough of this and
Please don't.
I don't-
need to let everybody else think about it.
it's always a good thing when somebody doesn't want to sign the advice of rights that they're going to come up here and argue with. I'm just a little conduit. I didn't have anything to do with the ticket.
No, sir.
I don't have anything to do with writing the law.
Not,
Right. Let's make this easy. You're going to answer, yes, I want a lawyer, or no, I don't want a lawyer. And if you tell me, no, I don't, then I'm going to go through your rights. And I'm still going to read all your rights to you because you were too belligerent to handle and sign the advice of rights that he asked you to sign. So do you want a lawyer, yes or no?
at this day, no, sir.
Okay, do you want me to arraign you then without a lawyer?
I would like to prove jurisdiction first so we can proceed.
You're going to have to file a motion on that. You don't want a lawyer, right?
Sir, I put in a notice for a special affairs to come here to challenge jurisdiction only. I'd like to prosecute represent
They don't need
jurisdiction.
They have jurisdiction. The court has jurisdiction.
Can you place that evidence, sir?
The court has jurisdiction.
Can you place that evidence, sir, and explain how I'm bound to that? Any unrevealed contracts?
Unrevealed contracts. What a great country. Huh? Unrevealed contracts. I love this stuff. I love this.
I'm just
You
trying.
want me to arraign you or you want a lawyer?
I would like you to prove jurisdiction, sir.
I don't need to prove anything. I'm not a party to the action. I'm the judge. I'm the independent arbiter.
Yet, sir.
It is alleged, sir, that you did operate a motor vehicle while you were under the influence of drugs. They think that you had operated that vehicle on November 28th.
All right, let's pause for a second, because this is one of the most important legal moments in the entire hearing. The judge is now explaining constitutional rights, the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney, and the right to a jury trial. This is a standard part of an arraignment where the court formally informs the defendant of the charges and possible penalties. And here's something interesting. Even though the defendant keeps interrupting and raising unusual arguments about jurisdiction and summons, the judge still makes sure every legal right is clearly stated on the record. Why? Because if those rights aren't explained properly, it could become grounds for an appeal later. So the judge isn't just talking, he's actually protecting the integrity of the entire case. Now, I'm curious what you think. Was the defendant trying to defend himself, or did he accidentally make things harder by refusing legal help?
25 at 12:56 in the morning on Allen near Van Horn and Woodhaven, operating with the presence of drugs. It says you had in your system THC. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to $500 in fines, 93 days jail, 360 hours community service, court costs, or all those. 6 points would be added to your traffic record. Your license would be suspended or revoked in accordance with your record. Your vehicle could be, or may have to be immobilized depending upon your record. Do you understand that?
I understand you mean staying under jurisdiction, no?
I said, you understand what I just said?
Competent to what you,
You understand what I said, right?
I'm competent to what you said.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Competent. What do you mean?
You have another word for understanding? Sir, I'm just gonna navigate and keep my rights in your courtroom, sir.
It's not my court. I don't see anywhere in here where they deeded me the property. I've never referred to this. Not one time is my court. It's not my court. Well, that just means I'm a little occupant. I'm a tenant here. They gave me the privilege of sitting here for the last 32 years. You see that guy? That was my father, and he was here for 18, the first and best judge of the court ever. The guy in the back there was my grandfather, who was a heck of a lawyer and the Wayne County prosecutor and a justice of the peace. Now, I'm not playing with you. Do you understand what I said?
I'm competent to what you said, sir.
Good. All right, now you have the right to remain silent. That's a big right. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to say anything. If you choose to say something in or out of court, whether orally or in writing, it can be used against you. Do you understand?
Competent.
You understand you have the right to be represented by a lawyer not only today, but at all subsequent court proceedings. If you cannot afford a lawyer, I will be more than happy to provide you with one at public expense. If you ever choose to submit the question with law enforcement officials, and you don't have to do that, you have the right to be represented by your lawyer. Do you understand that? Do you understand that you have the right to a trial in this case? You have the constitutional right to a jury trial. At that trial, 6 people would be impaneled. All 6 would have to agree that you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in order for you to be convicted. At a trial, you have the right to remain silent, and that silence would not be held against you. Do you understand?
Sir.
And do you understand that at a trial, you could bring in your own witnesses, you could use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses, you could testify or remain silent. If you just testify, that's your choice. You can cross-examine prosecution witnesses. You can use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. And if you plead guilty at any time, we're not going to have a trial, and we're waiving the presumption of innocence. You're waiving the requirement that they prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I will go ahead and I will enter a not
Can I
guilty.
ask another question? I did present a motion.
I'm gonna, hang on. I'm gonna go ahead and enter a not guilty plea for you.
Well, that would be passing off from the bill, sir.
Okay, would it? You want me to enter a guilty plea for you? I'll ask you how you plead. Do you plead not guilty or guilty?
Well, sir, I'm just not to plead without proof.
The court is entering a not guilty plea.
I object to it.
You want to plead guilty?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, well, you can't have it both ways. It's either not guilty, mute, or guilty. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about here. You're having your fun. I get it. I'll enter a not guilty plea, and I will look. It depends what it is.
I did turn in a motion for dismissal for like.
There's no, you're gonna file, you can file your motion to dismiss, okay? You're gonna have to file a written motion,
I filed.
serve it on the prosecutor, and then we'll set a hearing date.
And then how do I get my summons?
You don't need a summons. They gave you a
I
citation.
should know what information is being,
Oh, you want discovery? You want the police materials? That's different than a summons. If you want discovery, I'll be glad to give you discovery. Since you want to represent yourself, apparently, you can prepare your own discovery order. $1,000 personal bond. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate any law or ordinance. You must appear in court as directed. And I'm going to give you a new court date. Again, I'm going to invite you to go hire your own lawyer. If you want a court-appointed lawyer, you can fill out a petition for one. But your bond conditions are no alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs, no marijuana either, or illegal
Sure.
controlled substance. Also, again, you cannot leave the state, cannot violate a law, you must appear in court as directed. Heather, give me a date, please.
March
Sure.
18th at 9:30?
I'm sorry, what, the 18th at 9:30?
Correct, Judge.
If it's the same question, I'm not going to answer it. If you
No,
have
sir.
a different or new question, I'll be glad to answer it.
well, I'm a medical marijuana card patient holder. And I use marijuana for medical purposes.
Well, you're going to have to provide proof of that.
I can,
Um,
and I can do that now.
let me put it to you this way. As of right now, while I honor the medical marijuana law, even though I might disagree with it, I'm going to tell you no medical marijuana. And the reason is that the allegation here is that you were under I want to be clear about this. If this involved alcohol, my standard order says no alcohol, marijuana, or illegal drugs. I would never stop somebody from using medical marijuana if they have a valid medical marijuana card. The problem here is, and a court on appeal can hear me nice and loudly, the allegation here is that it was marijuana and that your ability to operate that motor vehicle was impeded. In other words, you operated with the presence of drugs in your system, which is illegal. So therefore, even if you have a valid medical marijuana card at this point, I'm denying you the ability to use medical marijuana. And it's solely on that basis. Again, if this involved alcohol or some other type of drug, at least the allegation on the ticket is that you're under the influence based upon marijuana use. So I'm not allowing you to use medical marijuana right now. We will set this for a pretrial. You can file any motions. You can hire a lawyer. You can demand, you can ask for a court appointed, in which case I will do that. So you're going to go down the hall, get your court.
What was the date again?
March the 18th, and we'll give you,
Can I get a little further to try to help people to hire an attorney?
well, I don't know. You haven't really told me you were going to hire an attorney. You said that at one point.
2 weeks away, I had to hit summons, discovery, I haven't seen nothing.
It's a pretrial. It's not a trial.
Okay.
I'll set it for a pretrial.
And pre-trial, can you please explain to me?
Pretrial is when you or your lawyer can meet with the prosecutor. If you want to go talk to the prosecutor right now about signing a discovery order, I'll be happy to sign it. And you can get the paper discovery from the prosecutor now.
How about the prosecutor about anything?
You can, if you choose to. If you're going to waive your right to a lawyer, you can always talk to the prosecutor. You can go in and see if you can resolve the case right now. You can go in and tell them about your motion if you waive your right to a lawyer and say, hey, you didn't serve me with a summons.
But as of right now, I cannot do that?
No,
Okay. I'm just trying to, I don't know.
if you don't want a lawyer and you want to go talk to him and represent yourself, I can't stop you from doing that. Feel free. Maybe you can go in and tell him these things you just told me. And maybe he's going to just say, you know what? I'm afraid of you. I'm going to dismiss the case. He might say that. I don't know. You can do that. So if you want to go talk to him about a discovery order or your motion to dismiss for want of jurisdiction or anything else, feel free. As of now, though, my discussion with you is concluding, period. Go out, get your court date and figure out how you're going to proceed. Thank you.
Can I get a further court date?
No, no, that's 2 weeks. Let's move. Come on.
I gotta hire an attorney in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Prepare,
Get out of here. Back away from the podium.
what's
You've had your fun for one day. We'll have more fun going forward.